Hello. So the class's exhibition was centered around using the senses to create an interactive exhibition. And in my case, I decided to focus on the sense of touch through my exhibit, Feeling History. So its main message was to provide visitors with an opportunity, primarily through the sense of touch, accompanied by visual and written prompts to learn about Nigerian history, highlighting challenging and not so challenging periods. For key learning goals, I wanted visitors to recognize the different textures and how they could evoke different emotions, as well as how the emotions linked to these textures could provide an abstract representation of Nigerian history, highlighting traumatic and not so traumatic periods. In terms of prototypes, in the first video, the texture was a bit too rough, so I had to smoothen that out. As for the second video, this was just a layout that I was looking at to see how like the final outcome would be laid out in the gallery. To the top right, you can see an example of a prototype on MDF just to see how the textures were turning out after changing them. And the bottom right shows like the final outcome of the panel. Here you can see people from like different age demographics interacting with the exhibition, which I thought was quite interesting. And here's just like a general overlook of how like the exhibition was laid out. The panel on the wall, the labels, and then moving on to the iPad. That had different tabs on the website, and you can interact with each tab. So on the home page, it prompts you again to feel the textures on the panel. You can scroll through. If you go to the About Exhibit tab, you will find out a bit about why the exhibit was done, so the educational goals and like talking about the sense of touch. In terms of the Nigerian history tab, you can just get a quick overview of the country to kind of orient yourself. So in terms of like knowing where Nigeria is in Africa, and a little more factual information about the country. References were just focused on photographs that I had used that were not mine. And if you go back to the homepage, you'll notice that there are these blocks that correspond to what is on the wall panel. So these were used to like kind of remind people that they're linked. And if you click on each one, then you get a written prompt as to things that happened during those time periods, kind of give you an idea as to why each texture was the way it was. But overall, I think they work together. Going forward, I think if I was to change something, instead of using a visual prompt as an iPad, I would probably use something more audio based. But other than that, I think it was a pretty good exhibition. Thank you.